What if your home wasn't really yours? What if, while you slept, the walls moved, the rooms changed, and the house began to remember a life that wasn't yours at all? Tonight, I'll tell you the story of Jonathan Vance, a man who moved into his dream house, only to discover it had a mind and a memory of its own. This is The House That Builds Itself at Night. Don't forget to lock your doors. Part 1. The move-in narrator Jonathan Vance was a quiet man in his 40s, no kids, and after years of saving, he finally bought a house in the countryside. A modern build, simple, 2 floors, with a lovely view of the forest, just the sound of wind through trees and the occasional owl hoot. It was exactly what he wanted: peace, no neighbors for miles. But from the very first night, things fell off. A mug he placed in the cupboard ended up back on the kitchen counter. He chalked it up to forgetfulness. It began with small things. A door he was sure he had closed was left ajar. But then came the noises. Every night at 3:15 a.m., he would wake up to the sound of faint hammering, like nails being driven into wood. But when he checked, no one was there. The house was silent and empty. After a week, Jonathan noticed something impossible. One morning he walked downstairs and found a new door. A small, narrow one in the hallway where there had been only wallpaper before. It led to a tiny room completely empty, smelling of fresh paint and sawdust. He was stunned. He called the realtor, the builder, even checked the original blueprints. The room wasn't supposed to exist. That night, he placed cameras around the house, every angle, every hallway. He wanted answers. The next morning, there was another new room. This one had a rocking chair and a child's drawing pinned to the wall. It was a family to parents and a little boy, none of whom were Jonathan. He checked the footage. At 3:15 a.m., the feed went black for exactly 1 minute, and when it returned, the new room was there. He wasn't losing his mind. The house was changing. Jonathan dove into the property's history but found nothing. It was a new build, never owned before. But he did notice something else. In each new room, there were items from a life that wasn't his. A dusty wedding photo with a man who looked almost like him, but not quite. A calendar marked with birthdays he didn't recognize. A note scribbled in a child's handwriting. "Daddy, don't forget to feed the ghost in the mirror." He began to sleep less and watch more. Some nights he swore he saw shadows moving behind walls where no room existed. Then, one night, he followed a whisper. It led him through a narrow hallway, into a door he didn't remember opening. Inside was a nursery. Rocking slowly in the corner was the chair. On the crib was a brass nameplate. Jonathan had no children. So, who the hell was Ethan? The next day, the house was bigger again. It didn't even fit the original land dimensions. He followed a new staircase that hadn't been there the night before. It led to a cold, dark room, only one object inside: a mirror. As he stepped closer, he saw his reflection. But it wasn't him. A boy with hollow eyes, whispering, "Daddy, I built this for you." A life with a wife named Claire, a son named Ethan. A scream, and then nothing. Standing outside the house, but now, it wasn't empty. The reflection was older, paler, dressed in different clothes, and behind it a child. Suddenly, memories he never had began to flood in. Jonathan screamed and smashed the mirror only to find himself. From the road, he saw lights in every window, silhouettes of a family he didn't know. Living inside, the house had rebuilt itself. Completely. Rebuild themselves, waiting for the ones who forgot them. And someone else was already moving in. Some houses are more than bricks and wood. Some remember, some grieve. If you made it this far, you might want to keep an eye on your own home tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more terrifying stories every week. This was The House That Builds Itself at Night. And trust me, the walls have ears.